Hey there, YouTube. This is your host, Second Bullet. Got another one for you today. This time the complaint is coming from my favorite event, hostile takeovers. Hostile takeovers. So, the main complaint that I'm seeing for hostile takeovers and year 2, season 1, Skull and Bones, is people seriously want hostile takeovers to do the same thing that Cutthroat Cargo has done. They want hostile takeovers. Well, they want hostile takeovers to not be accessible for players who weren't there when the match originally started, right? And they're using the faults of Cutthroat Cargo to try to justify this, and making this video to completely disagree with that. This is it's not the same thing. It's like comparing apples to oranges. These aren't the same game modes. They have different. Man, this guy kicked my ass. Different pros and cons, right? And reasonings for it, for the fix. So that's what I'm gonna get into today. As you can see in this video, I frequently do that. Apparently that makes me a griever, and I'm just preying on people and being an asshole. But that's not what I'm doing at all. This is just, it's people complaining about PvP being in a PvP game. It's getting ridiculous. But anyway, the excuse that they were trying to use is that if you join a hostile takeover after the takeover has already begun, you're going to be at an advantage. And I couldn't disagree with that like more than I'm already disagreeing right now. It's the complete opposite. You got perks that allow you to secure the win faster, right? Like, look at this guy. He straight up parked at the nearest post. He's 95% about to win, right? There's 1 minute left. I don't even have enough time to catch up to him even if I tried. You know, like, he can literally he could have stayed on post and he would have won the match. But anyway, what they're trying to say is that in tier 2, World Tier 2, because the difficulty spike and the ships actually do you harm, that joining the game later just puts you at an advantage somehow. Because the player that you're joining the game, well, you coming in as an invader, you're going to be full health and they're going to be hurt, and then you're just going to wipe the floor with them, and they can never come back from that. Now, I wish I had a better video, because I have so many times that it did not turn out that way, because the only reason that I do it because I like PvP, right? It's not really about winning or losing to me sometimes. Sometimes I just want to PvP. For this particular video right here, this particular hostile takeover, I joined just so I can test out my new barge build. That's the only reason I joined. I knew I wasn't going to lose. I knew I wasn't going to win. It was already almost 3 minutes in. Not even 3 minutes, because the takeover was probably like 6 minutes, and I joined. It was like 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So 4 minutes and 30 seconds. He's only been playing for a minute and a half. and he already was 60% done with the takeover, right? And that's how most play. Most takeovers in half the time the takeover is supposed to take, right? And they're complaining. They're like, no, if you're not there when the takeover starts and you can't join. Several reasons why I'm against that. I think I just named a couple, but one of the main reasons why I'm against that is because in year 2, World Tier 2, you have more PvE options than PvP options. You've always had more PvE options, but when it comes to takeovers, you get more buyouts and more single player takeovers sometimes than hostile takeovers, than full PvP hostile takeovers. So the game gives you options already, right? So when you join a PvP hostile takeover, you're knowing you're taking that risk, but that still isn't enough, which is crazy. And people want this nerf. I mean, they not nerf, but they want this fixed, quote unquote, because it's just grieving. It's not grieving. Goddamn. And they're wrong. They're wrong. I just showed you why they're wrong. Right, and I'll go even further. When you sink a player ship, you receive 50 points. Right, it's not 50% like it used to be. It's just 50 points, and I don't know how the point system works exactly. You know, because it says points, and then you see it on the screen. It showed the percentage of the hostile takeover that was done, but you get the same amount of points for destroying 2 towers. And if you're level 13, like, the towers have not been buffed, right? Even in World Tier 2, the towers, they hit harder, but they don't have higher, like the HP and all the towers in the forts seem like they're either lower or just people doing more damage. Either way, in that first minute, if you directly go to the towers, just destroy the towers, you already have a huge advantage, right? And most of the time, if I'm joining late, I'm gonna be a minute behind or so. I heard somebody else complain like, oh, that they can just see what you got, they can go back to port, they can switch out their gear and come wipe the floor with you. I'm like, bro, like, the area that I was in, that was the closest port to hostile takeovers ratio that I've seen in the game, right? The second one that comes to mind is the village right next to St. Anne. And that trip right there back and forth, that's a full minute, right? You got a full minute head start, you can't win a takeover? Like, you shouldn't. You need to stick to the single player takeovers or buyouts. There's enough for everybody, right? Leave the PvP alone. If you want to be a solo player, be a solo player. Stop coming for the PvP. It's not for everybody. All right. Yeah, that was it. That was it for this one. But I can't believe this. Like, we already went through this.